Hi guys, I'm Shmi and we've just arrived in Monaco, Monte Carlo with the McLaren 675LT. So I took delivery of it, technically at McLaren Manchester, just a couple of days ago. Had the car shipped down to Auto Salon Singen in Germany, and then I've driven it through the Alps over Gotthard Pass, taken it to Monza for an event, driven it around the Monza circuit and on the old Parabolica, and then we went down to visit Maranello, the home of Ferrari, with my Ferrari FF as well. And today we've been to Pagani and driven the Passo della Raticosa over towards Monaco. So just this morning we were at Pagani. I've had about 10 hours in the car today. I've nearly got to 1,000 miles on the car, so it's run in and it's sounding absolutely brilliant. But we got here earlier. I took it straight to a hand wash, so I've washed the car myself this evening just to shine it up, because I wanted to take you on a sort of full induction tour, show you all of my options and specification, and a little bit about the McLaren 675LT that you might not already know. Now, I think the big thing, and everybody sort of teased me a little bit for it in the videos I've already put out with this car, is the colour, but I'm going to say it once more time. It is MSO Cerulean Blue, so McLaren Special Operations. I have a number of parts and sort of options on the car that have come from MSO that I'll show you in full as we go around, but the colour is the most important thing. So technically there could be another car in this colour at some point in time, but I believe at this point this is the only one. My 675LT is number 70. Quite a fun fact actually, if I come around to the VIN numbers and show you on the windscreen, the 675LT is numbered by the last few digits on the VIN, 675070, and they were built in number order. So this was the 70th technically to go into production in the factory. You probably already know the name. 675 is for the horsepower, 675 PS, which translates to 666 brake horsepower, which is a pretty cool number. That comes from the 3.8 litre twin turbocharged V8, but this time with an all-new exhaust system. And I can tell you now that the car's running, the exhaust system is absolutely phenomenal. It's this 5.2 kilo titanium exhaust in the rear, but as you can see, has already started to turn purple, which just looks brilliant. That's to do with the heat and the sort of effect of chemistry and all that jazz that's going on in the back there. Now, of course, I've gone to the 675LT, having had the McLaren MP412C first, the coupe, and then I had a 650S Spider. So I'm a big, big fan of these cars, and I ordered this one, well, it was around 11 months ago now. Spec'd it up probably 4 or 5 months ago, and I did the sort of full road to 675LT sort of storyline, including my first drive on the press day at Silverstone, taking it out for an hour on the road as well. But it's a truly astonishing machine. 0 to 60 under 3 seconds, top speed 205, but where it really excels is the 0 to 124 miles per hour time, the 200 kilometer an hour time, 7.9 seconds. And I can tell you that translates to going around racetracks exceptionally quickly. From a visual point of view, over the 650S, it's slightly lower, it's slightly wider, it's a lot more aggressive. There's a much larger rear wing, which you can imagine when it goes up for the air braking effect, has 50% more surface area. You have the new circular, very large exhaust tips, a sort of integrated, styled, and aerodynamically functional diffuser, very complicated and cool. New air vents, of course, around the side. This vent is elongated forwards. There's a lower side vent, much wider side skirts. Then at the front, versus 650S, a further elongated front splitter and the end plates at the side. So things have got significantly more aggressive on the exterior. We'll also jump and take a look at the interior. From an options point of view, as well as the paint colour, on the outside I've gone for the full satin carbon fibre exterior pack, as well as all the other options. So I've got the front splitter, the end plates, the door mirrors, the side vent, the lower side vent and sills, and then around the back the full central bumper, as well as the lower diffuser sections. Those three sort of parts you can see along the back are part of the carbon pack. From a wheels point of view, I've got the 10-spoke ultra lightweight wheels, along with the polished calipers. Now, a few people have asked me why I didn't do light blue calipers. I love that sort of hint of silver against the dark stealth wheels. I think it's a really, really cool look. So from the outside, I basically wanted the contrast of the satin carbon against the bright blue, sort of metallic pearlescent colour on the paintwork, which is, I mean, a colour I'm absolutely obsessed with. I love how this looks, so I'm very, very happy with it. We've got a couple of little orange highlights. So the 675LT badge here, I mentioned before in a video actually, it's half the thickness for the lettering of the 650S, because this car took 100 kilos of weight out of the 650S down to 28 kilos if you have the sort of completely stripped out version of the car. So from the outside, I think it looks awesome. I've also got the track telemetry pack, so I've got the front camera here, which is sort of hooked up to a V-Box system. We've got 3 cameras, one at the front, one at the rear, and one on the inside. So coming around to the back, the cameras here. One is the track telemetry pack camera, and one is the reversing camera, an normal reversing camera. Also got the reversing parking sensors, of course, all the stuff you need. But from a design point of view, we've also got a plexi rear window, very dirty, please excuse me for that. I'll show you actually that shortly, but the whole rear is just opened up vastly more than the 650 was, so you can see so much more of what's going on and just peek in. And just for fun, 87 TB, that's the number plate I've had on my last couple of cars. And I have this caption underneath: life is measured in achievement, not in years alone. A phrase I like very much from Bruce McLaren, the founder of McLaren Automotive. So we've been around the outside, let's take a look at the interior. Going inside the car, we have the standard McLaren key. This is carbon fibre effect back. 3 buttons, we have the bonnet release, lock and unlock. If you double press unlock, the door will lightly pop and you can swing it open. And the way the doors open is, of course, absolutely awesome. Carries over from the 12C and 650S. But new for the LT is the soft close mechanism, where if you do that, it will pull itself in, raise the window, and shut itself. So that's significantly beneficial. No more needing to slam doors down and fiddle around with them. But while that's up, you've also got, excuse that it's so dirty, the extended carbon fibre side sill coming up there. So, the inside. Bucket seats. Carbon fibre bucket seats, alcantara everywhere, stripped out, so straight to the carbon fibre here in the footwell. We've got carbon fibre there, you've got the carbon fibre floor here. Carpets are an option, obviously save some weight if you go without them. And then you have the bare carbon fibre floor. Got a plaque here that says 675LT, one of 500. There are only 500 675LT coupes. On the inside, I've gone with basically the full black with a couple of small touches. So if I jump in, and I'll show you those. Coming over the side sill, of course we're inside the carbon fibre tub here. Yeah, P11 chassis tub, which carries over. There's a system that works very, very well. I'm just going to turn on the ignition, so we've got some lights and things going on here. So one press for the power, and another press to turn on the ignition. There we go. Front of us, you can see I've done 808 miles so far on this car, and it's been a brilliant 800 miles. We've got the steering wheel, slightly smaller steering wheel, full alcantara, more satin carbon fibre everywhere around the wheel. Fun story, if you didn't know, the steering wheel is modelled off Lewis Hamilton's Formula 1 wheel, back when he drove for McLaren. In the centre, we've got more satin carbon fibre. I've opted to have light blue stitching, again an MSO option, so that goes all the way around the passenger zone and all the way around the driver's zone and out on the door too, which is something I like a lot. I've also gone for carbon fibre air vents, so again an MSO option, just again finished in the satin carbon fibre. And I think one of my favourite touches is this, the body painted controls on the handling and powertrain dials. These are part of the new Active Dynamics panel, which you activate by pressing the active button. You've got the handling control, which is the suspension and steering sort of elements, and then the powertrain, which is the gearbox and engine. Used to have the aero button, which would put the wing up here, but that's been changed with a dedicated button for the traction control setting. So one press to push it in sport, press and hold to turn it off. And again, with the handling with the suspension, you've got normal, sport and track modes for different levels of firmness.
Normal on this car sort of equating to sport on the previous car, and on the powertrain you've again got normal, sport and track. Sport introduces the lack of ignition cut, which is when fuel goes straight through the exhaust, ignites on upshift or downshift, and you get an epic crack that goes off behind, which just sounds amazing. Track, all about going very fast, so slightly less playful, but very, very, very quick. And then underneath that we've got the launch control button too. What else do we have that I can show you? The usual sort of drive, neutral, reverse buttons, bonnet, lock, electric handbrake, and as well as as well as the MSO light blue dials, we've also got satin black on all the other dials. So the control here around the MSO logo, sorry, the MPC, McLaren Technology Centre, MTC logo. This is the pond and the building of the McLaren factory, and all the sort of satin black parts around the dials here. Alcantara glove box. And here is where the camera plugs in at the back. Excuse all my bits and pieces that are in there, but the camera system for the track telemetry pack is in here, along with iPod plug and all of that. And I'm not sure if you can quite make it out at the moment because it's very dark, but there's a camera up here which films, the sort of driving area and out the front window. So that all works pretty well. What else do we have from an option point of view in here? I've got the 10-speaker Meridian system, which introduces a new higher speaker in the centre, new tweeters here in the door, which sort of raise the sound level inside the car versus the 650S, so it sounds slightly improved. The air conditioning controls moved here, so you now have this new air conditioning display. Everything you sort of expect and want, all on one touchscreen interface. Then press again to take that away. You've got everything else you'd expect to have in this car. Nav just shows you I'm on the pier in Monaco. Very random place to be, but it's a brilliant system. I like to have my phone mounted in the car so I can use Waze, which is a phone app, but the car system works pretty well too, so it's not necessarily needed. You've got media controls for the Bluetooth, for the iPod, everything else you might want in there, so that's all pretty nice. And what else do we have? We've got extended carbon fibre shift paddles, the same rocker system, so if you pull one side, pushes away the other side and vice versa, so you can go up or down gears either way, pushing like that or with your thumb through. And it has the precog, which is why it clicks, so you can lightly pull it, which prepares the gearbox for the shift. Then when you do pull it, it's extra quick. What else do we have? Display here, we've got a number of different things, some screens we can go through there. We've got the lift system, of course, pretty much compulsory on this car. I would not want a 675LT without the lift. So yeah, that works pretty well. And my favourite thing to show you from MSO in this, which is a very nice carbon fibre box, is the MSO key that I have for my car. So if I remove that, you can see this, and I showed it in the light before, but it's got tinted carbon fibre, the cerulean blue painted stripe, and the silver and black 675LT logo. Now, I'm not going to use this key on a daily basis because it's really quite special. Probably just keep it as a display ornament kind of thing and use the other key on a regular basis, but I like this. I like this a lot. I think this really, really finishes off the car. It's probably the coolest car key I think I've ever seen in my life. So I'm very, very happy with that. So a massive shout out to the chaps MSO for putting that together, because I think that's exceptionally special. So what else can I show you on the interior here? I mean, we've got the bucket seats. I think it's optional to have them with sliding, so I'm sliding my seat forwards and back. You can't actually see I'm even doing that. We've got some cup holders down here. Bucket seats have 3 different sort of angles of rake you can put them at. I think these are quite far back at the moment, but they're really, really comfortable. No complaints at all about the seating position. Oh, I didn't talk about this. Matching blue 675LT embroidery in the headrests. But yeah, the seats are very comfortable. We've done, well, 800 miles in the last couple of days around a track, on some mountain passes, all sorts of different places, and I have no complaints whatsoever. Another thing, when you've got in the car, there's comfort on the steering wheel. So I have an electric steering column, which is done through a jog dial down here. But if you just got in the car, it gives you the option to just pull the left stalk, which will revert the steering wheel, pull it back down. And that obviously, if you imagine when you've opened the door and it's gone up, makes getting in and out easier. So you can sort of manage through this little area to swing your legs out with a little bit more ease. Another random thing you might not know, if you push and hold up, you then get the lift available. You'd need the engine running, then you press again, it would go up. Push that away to get rid of the message. But that's fairly self-explanatory. Let me hop back out. I'm going to show you in the bonnet, which we can open by pressing the button, and the catch is just here. Lift that up. Now it's full, of course, with all my luggage, so you'll have to excuse me with that. I was at Pagani earlier today, like I mentioned. But down here, very specifically, I want to get something out. So if you'll excuse me for a second while I fumble around here, what I want to show you is this little piece. I'm going to put this stuff back in so that I can close the bonnet down. Like I said, we're on a fairly long trip at the moment, so you have to excuse all the different bits and pieces I have lying around here. I'll close that down. Do just by pressing it down. So this is the key to open the rear window. So it's a lovely piece, carbon fibre, metal, and you can use this in here, twist it very, very tight, and it will release. And if I move to the other side, turn it the other way, that then lifts up, and we can take a look at the engine bay. Now I can't really do this while I'm holding the camera, but there's a carbon fibre strut here on the left hand side that you can prop up using that bracket in the centre and the mount up top to hold the engine bay up. But it's all carbon fibre in here and it looks absolutely awesome. Sorry, it's not the cleanest in the world at the moment, and it's pretty warm, so I'm not going to hang around for too long. And close it back down. It's a gentle press on both sides and all is done. So it's a pretty cool engine bay. Yes, just checking it's closed. But yeah, it's a seriously awesome car. I'm very, very happy. And the mileage we've done over the last couple of days, driving the car around some fantastic roads, have been exceptionally fun. And I'm sure I'm going to do many, many more miles in the 675LT as well. Just trying to think what else there might be to show you or talk about, but really just an in-depth kind of look at the various options and specification on the car that I have created and waited a very, very long time to have delivered. It's a seriously good piece of kit, and obviously I'm going to do sort of some review and talking style videos, as well as the sort of video diary ones I've already put out before now, so those will all be on the Shmee 150 channel in due course. But yeah, there we go. There is the new toy. I'm going to be enjoying it down here in Monaco for the foreseeable future, so I'm very excited about that as well. But I think I'm going to wrap this up now. A full sort of induction tour and overview of the new Shmee mobile, the McLaren 675LT. A car I'm very, very happy to own, and one I cannot wait to drive an awful lot more. But for more with this car, do be subscribed to the Shmee 150 channel. There will be a lot to come. And that's it for now. I will catch up with you again very soon. Cheers. Hi Nick, how are you?
Hello, welcome.
Thank you very much.
Hi, nice to see you.
Pretty excited about today. I can see the car over there. Let's go straight inside.